Hey guys, it's Nadine. So I'm here today to show you guys something that I made for myself, and I thought it would be useful to pass it on to other people. So this right here is my A5 Imperial Purple Finchley. This is my girl. This is Heaven. That's what I call her. Might be ridiculous to name a Filofax, but I happen to like her name. My other Filofaxes don't have a name, just this one. Let's see here. So this is what my day looks like. Let me just show you guys. So this is today, and then this is tomorrow. And I just I like to be able, now I have another system that I have used as well, and it's a little ribbon marker, but there is another thing that I have recently come up with, and I'll tell you why I use this other one instead. So what I did is I have these Becky Higgens Project Life, and these are called scrapbook dividers, and they're humongous, and they come in this clear color. There's also these that actually have different patterns on them. If I'm not mistaken, they have dividers for every single edition of Project Life, and so these are the two that I have, and I actually really like them. I got one from Hobby Lobby, and I got this one from Michael's. So all you're gonna need are some of these dividers, and let me just say this, there are 15 dividers in one. So I'm going to show you guys how I do mine for my A5 as well as my compact size. So all you're going to need is the dividers, Sharpie, a ruler, which I am looking for. Well, let me just grab a ruler and a cutter. You can either use the slider cutter or one of these smaller guillotine cutters. Either one would work just fine. So what you're gonna do is, and I use these, let me just say something really quickly before we move on. If you see my inserts, my calendar inserts was made by a friend of mine, and I will put her information in the description box below. She has some really great inserts that I just love, and I'll tell you why I love them in a whole nother video. Because yeah, let me just stick to what I'm supposed to be doing here, because I tend to digress a lot. So anyway, I'm going to take out one of these dividers from the package, and I want to see, so let me just share with you guys. I also have a bunch of the Filofax rulers as well, and while I like this, I don't 100% love it, because I'd like to have a little bit more room to be able to use this as a fly leaf, or a place that I can actually, or a mini dashboard that I can put sticky notes and whatnot. So while this is okay, it doesn't really suit my needs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and figure out just where and how much I want the top of the divider, which, can you see right there? How much I want that to stick out. So let me just show you guys. And this top divider has this decorative edge to it. So I usually like it to come right about there. Which the notch, I like it to, the notch right here, see that? I want it to be at the top of the page. So I'm going to make sure that it is perfectly lined up. And actually, let me flip it over, because I'm going to tell you guys why I'm flipping it over in a second. So I have it lined up, okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my ruler, which I don't know what I did with this. I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. Oh, there it is. Well, I don't care, I'm gonna use this one anyways. And I'm gonna just go ahead and mark the bottom to the bottom edge of my, let me move the camera over so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this and I'm going to line it up with the edge, and I'm going to take the cover off of the pen, and I'm just going to use my Sharpie to mark the edge. It doesn't have to be completely straight because we're going to cut it anyways. Then I'm going to take my Fiskars trimmer, and I'm just going to put it here, make sure everything lines up, make sure that the line is actually in the channel of the Fiskars trimmer, and run it through once, and there it is. Now, here we go. Okay, so here is my thing, right? And it is perfectly lined up, and it's the perfect size. Now here's the thing about this. The divider actually already comes pre-punched. So there's one on the top and one on the bottom, and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and punch holes on the opposite side so that my divider doesn't move around. So I'm going to use the other ruler as a guide, and I'm going to, well, maybe I shouldn't use that. Hold on, let me just use this page as a guide, and this is what I currently use to keep track of my YouTube videos that I have posted online, but I haven't been good at keeping up with them as far as keeping, you know, track of it. So what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna go ahead and mark the holes where I want it to punch, and then oh yeah, another thing is you actually need a hole punch, and so what I'm using is my trusty little single hole punch that I got from Staples. So here are my holes. I'm just gonna take this and be careful when you punch because the little plastic sheets are gonna shoot back at you. So there we go. Let's see. So I'm just punching out all of these holes like that. And now I'm going to take a scissors and I'm gonna put little slits in the holes because I want to be able to take this in and out very quickly without having to keep continually having to open up the rings on my my new little thing. So there you go. See, it slips in and out perfectly. And if I have a post-it note or a note that I need to keep on here, what I do is I just, let me get a post-it note, and let's just write something on it really quickly. And as you can tell, if I had a list that needed to go somewhere, I could just put it on there, so that allows me to still see through to my next page, but I have a list right here, and I can put as many post-it notes as necessary on here. Now you can do this exact same thing with any size Filofax you have, whether it be a compact, personal, mini, pocket, whatever. The procedure is the same throughout, but I am going to show you guys the finished product in just a second. So now, if you want to pretty up your clear page marker, you can do a couple of things. I have a really inexpensive stamp with my initial from Michael's, which was $1.50. Or you could use like a saying like this one. It says breathe, believe, be still. This has so much meaning for me, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna take this stamp, which is actually a stamp by Stampers Anonymous, and I'm gonna take some StazOn ink. I'm going to go ahead and ink my stamp up, and I want to make sure that I really get this stamp nice and juicy. because the surface of this is kind of slick. So I want to make sure that I put this in the middle, which is, let me move this paper up so that you all can see. And I'm just going to make sure I push down evenly, lift up, and there is my stamp. So you can do whatever you want. I mean, you can add bling, but you see, I try to keep it one-dimensional because you don't want to bulk up your Filofax. As it is, you already have enough. Well, I have enough stuff in there, so I don't want it to be bulky, so I don't want to add any kind of dimension to my page marker slash flyleaf. So that's just an example of what you can do. Set this off to the side to dry and you're good to go. Now if you have some uneven stamping like I do on this one, because it kind of stuck, which is totally fine, but also you can tell the stamp is not like perfect. It's meant to be like that old aged look, you know, so it's not going to come out like a perfect stamp. But if you don't like that old aged look, you can go back with a Sharpie and fill in the spots. But I like it just fine. And then just let this dry, and then you can go ahead and use it in your Filofax. So I hope you guys found this useful. If you like this idea, go ahead and use it. And I will be back with more ideas and also an updated look at my Filofax. Talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.